Up now. See if we can get some things picking up. We got an excellent connection. Hopefully, that means we're going to have an excellent opportunity to be able to pick up and see what's happening. Guys, let's talk about the Houston market. It's looking good, right? It's still looking good. The Houston real estate world is still looking really, really amazing. And there's a lot of factors obviously coming into the play in this. And we've talked about those over time. We've got COVID that we thought was going to bottom the market out. So happens that it changed things in the way that people were excited about the Houston real estate market. I would have never have guessed in July that the Houston real estate HAR, I would have never have guessed that we would have set a record month for home sales, single family home sales. Pretty phenomenal. I love that. I love watching that. I love watching the fearless opportunities that real estate owners are taking to be able to go out and purchase real estate, to be able to trade their real estate up a level because of the way interest rates are right now, and to look at all of that. And so let's run through our quick numbers real fast. And I'd like to share with you what I think if you own real estate right now, or if you do not own real estate right now, what your consideration should be in just getting a grasp on the perfect storm that's happening inside of real estate. And so we're going to take a look at these numbers. So looking at our new listings up barely. We look at the back on market, the price decrease, price increase, option pending. You look at your pendings, you look at your pending continue to show, you look at your sold. All of it is actually staying pretty in track. We haven't seen things make too big of an adjustments. And that's kind of what we've watched over the time. So inventory is still continuing to drop. And so, with the continuation of inventory dropping, we are going to have some challenges, obviously, with sold data inside of Houston. It just means that you're going to see volume increase, and volume is going to increase because those homes that fell off the bottom, those low days on market homes, the 250 and under, those homes are going to go like that. And so, you're going to see that kind of go down. The inventory is not there, and so people are going to start picking up the inventory that is available. You're going to continue to see prices rise, which means the appraisals are going to continue to rise. We're now seeing the historical data that's going to allow a little bit of that inventory. Sorry, not that inventory. You're going to see a little bit of that that price, the price point, the what you can sell your house for, that is going to begin to increase. In the beginning, I kept saying it was time, time, time was what you're capitalizing on. And now that we've had some history of the sales, you're going to be able to start seeing the actual monetary um, gain go up. Now, here's something that I want you guys to consider. So, right now, what I would advise anybody who's in the curiosity stage of real estate right now inside of Houston is to look at and to consider investment properties. And so we haven't talked about this, but let's give it a good play today just for understanding what it is for you to be able to gain the opportunities inside of the Houston real estate market. So there's a couple of things to be paying attention to. One, the inventory issue is going to begin to correct itself for a couple of reasons. One is that the real estate agents are out there doing a great job marketing for the need of listings. And listings, obviously, the best way to get inside of a listing is to be able to have the conversation about equity. So there's a lot of people who have equity in their home that don't realize it, and that's in a couple of ways. One, they're paying a really incredible interest rate that they refinance their home and realize, oh my goodness, I've actually got a lot of money that I've paid into, and the market right now is so substantial that I'm starting to get some of the market value back into my home. So the equity is coming from twofold. One is I've paid into it, curiosity about refinancing that has shown me what exactly I owe. And now I've got equity, especially from what the market is being able to give me, because the market's giving us about a year over year in July, about $10,000 to $30,000 that you're going to have the market write you a check for. So it's a great time to capitalize on that. So we're watching that little piece happen. So it's going to correct itself because agents are actually doing the lead generation, the prospecting to clients, helping them understand what hot market means. A hot market doesn't mean anything. It just means it's moving fast to a consumer. But a hot market to somebody, when you explain their opportunity for the equity in their home and upgrading their space, that changes. So I think you're going to see agents be smarter about their marketing and help the clients, help the consumer understand that a little bit better. It's a moot point to say, "Oh, the market's hot." The market's hot doesn't mean anything to a consumer. The market is giving you equity, $10,000 to $30,000 in equity in Houston on average. So that's one of the conversations. And the other side is that the builders will catch up. So the builder inventory has been super down, and so you're going to start seeing the builder inventory go up. So once the builder inventory goes up, and you start to see a little bit of that influx of the real estate agents doing their prospecting to get new listings, you're going to start to see a little bit of that inventory fix itself. Now, the second thing that you're going to start seeing come along with the inventory side of it is going to be those who are in dire straits, and that's not to say that there's not um, gosh, a lot of I want to be sensitive to that, right? The dire straits that people will find themselves in, especially with the way the economy is still not quite getting back to where it should be. And there are those who had to go into forbearance who then will have the potential to go into short seller foreclosure mode. And so I don't want there to be any fear there. For those of you who may find yourselves in those positions, the equity conversation is still a really great conversation. Now, the world may have dealt you a hand that's kind of a challenge right now. And yet, if you really look at the opportunity to get the equity out of your home, even in a short seller foreclosure scenario, you can get your equity out of your home and still end up going, having some challenges, obviously financially, but getting the equity back so that you can have that cash in your bank and go, obviously, find a rental or some sort of short term process while you get back on your feet. So, I don't want you to be afraid, obviously, of if you're a consumer of what that looks like, if you have gone into forbearance and that you know that you're going to have some challenges coming up to be able to make up for all those payments or whatever that looks like. Obviously the world, I want to be sensitive to the world dealing a sour deal to some of us. And yet do realize that it still is a great time to get the best, right? To make lemonade out of lemons so that then those of you who might find yourself in those situations, contact me. I'd be happy to help you understand what equity looks like inside of your home and being able to sell your home, capitalize on that equity, get it out before you're foreclosed on, and you lose the equity. That's the worst thing that could ever happen right now is that you would lose the equity. Now, here's a again, that's kind of a weird conversation to have, but yeah, I want to have it because what I'm looking at right now for those of you who are interested in real estate investment right now in Houston, and this is a great actual segue into like having a conversation about the market Monday, is having a conversation about investment. So if you look at it, there's a 15% down payment on investments right now, and it's usually around a 25%. So you're able to find your ability to purchase properties with the cash in hand at a much lower risk, right? Because you've got 15% versus 25%. So you'll be able to keep some of that cash on your hand, especially if you find a property that needs some upgrades. You have some extra cash to be able to put that into it. The other side of that coin is that usually with your investment properties, you're going to have a higher interest rate just because of the risk. And yet you're seeing that even at an all-time low. I was looking at some of the historical data for some of the clients that I've helped find homes here in the recent past, in the past 5 years actually. And I have a couple of clients who are still in that 6.75 interest rate. Well, like those guys right now they're living in the same interest rate for purchasing their primary residence, which you should be able to get in right now like a 275. I saw somebody the other day got a 225 for a 15-year loan. That's awesome. That's absolutely amazing right now to be able to have that kind of wealth, future wealth built into your interest rate. And so to be able to refinance, obviously for those guys would be huge. And yet my comparison though is that like you can purchase investment properties and it feels like the purchasing power of a primary residence. And so the stigma of investments should kind of waft. You got to get rid of that stigma of investments, understanding what your cash value is going into an investment property and realizing that that has lowered. And so now there are a lot of opportunities to take the cash that you have and invest in a home that could potentially be, a rental or a flip property that then you could really bank on gaining a lot from the market, right? We're still talking about what the market is doing for us. And that's one of the things that I'm watching right now is the investment side of things. So I'd encourage all of you guys to look at what that means, to understand what the investment side of it looks like, and to be able to capitalize on that as well. So if we're looking at it, I see these numbers. These numbers are what they are. They have been trending the way they've been trending. If you've been paying attention to this conversation that I've been having with you guys, this is how it's been going. And so this is still going to continue to go until the inventory starts to pick back up. And I think the inventory is going to pick back up in a couple ways. One, smart real estate agents who are having the right conversations with consumers, helping them understand their equity, builders who are going to catch up. And then, unfortunately, those who have found themselves in dire straits, we are going to start seeing homes come on the market from the forbearance, foreclosure, and short sale scenario. So keep an eye out for that. If you have curiosities or questions about investing in real estate in Houston, I'm happy to answer those questions. That's a no obligation kind of conversation to have. Like, don't hesitate to call me as a professional just to get my advice on what's going on. I don't care if you use me or Joe Blow down the street, but have an educated conversation with a professional about what it looks like to invest in real estate in Houston. So, this is Market Monday. This is what the market's looking like inside of Houston. I'm Randy Olive, Randy Olive Real Estate, Randy Olive Real Estate Company. You can help. You can find me anywhere. Obviously, everything trolls along the bottom. If you like what you hear, hit subscribe. The bell will ding you every Monday when I go live to help you guys get connected to the market information. And again, I really appreciate it. RandyOlive at kw.com. In case you want to have my personal email, you're welcome to reach out to me. I'd love to be able to help you out in any way possible. All right, guys, y'all go have a beautiful, amazing Monday. Make some great dinner. It's almost dinner time. Well, in my home, it's almost dinner time. All right, guys, and all those who started school today, you did awesome. Teachers, mom teachers, dad teachers, uncle and aunt teachers, y'all did awesome. Teacher teachers, y'all also did awesome. Everybody, we're doing the best with what we have. So have grace. Be amazing, and we'll see you later.